So I want to transition to the other interesting takeaway from game one, which was the ejection of Draymond Green. So Draymond Green got ejected with about 2 minutes to go in the second quarter after hard fouling Brandon Clark. Clark was going up for a dunk. Green was swiping for the ball, ended up making a little bit of contact with his face, tugged his jersey, and helped try to cushion his fall. So he was assessed a flagrant two foul automatic ejection. His exit off the floor seemed a little bit too jovial and sarcastically kind of petulant to me. He was exuberant on the sidelines, jumping up and down, waving to the fans. It almost was reminiscent of Antonio Brown's final game with the Bucks at MetLife Stadium when the Bucks played the New York Jets. And he was upset reportedly that he had to be inserted back onto the field. And so he took off his shirt and jumping jacked his way, to exit stage left, and we didn't see from him ever again. It had similarities to that event, the way that he exited. So I didn't think that necessarily helped his cause for Draymond Green. I'll just say that. But obviously Green was frustrated by the foul. But I do think that he did make an attempt on the ball, and he did try to cushion the fall of Brandon Clark. Now, that doesn't automatically mean that you should just be given the benefit of the doubt just because you tried to help someone fall to the ground who you pulled down, right? But when you look at what flagrant two is, it's excessive and unnecessary behavior. And I didn't think that there was anything that Draymond Green did yesterday that was gratuitous to the point where it warranted a flagrant two, personally. Now, was I on the receiving end of that blow? So am I waking up this morning feeling ultra sore like I'm sure Brandon Clark is? No. So obviously I can't speak directly to it. But just from a visual standpoint, if you looked at the play specifically, there didn't seem to be any malice intent. Yes, there was a windup, I guess, but I didn't think that he was attempting a strike to the face. And I think that the way that, again, he tried to help guide him down and keep him up, I think shows his intent probably wasn't to just clothesline Brandon Clark, is what I think personally. And he even mentioned, Draymond Green did on his podcast, that he thinks that it's a reputational based thing, or likely a reputational based thing. And I actually kind of agree with him. Now, I'll defend the referees in this regard, because when you look at his history and his past transgressions, it's not just that, okay, his past track record suggests this is a guy who straddles the line. We've known Draymond Green's always straddled the line, but he's always operated within the legal confines of the NBA. But he has accumulated over 130 technical fouls in the course of his career. This was his 12th ejection of his career, which currently ranks in the top 3 all time. The only 2 other guys that have been assessed more ejections, Rasheed Wallace with 29 and DeMarcus Cousins with like 14 or 15. And then there's Draymond Green, who just surpassed Reggie Miller. So I understand the referees not exactly giving Draymond Green the benefit of the doubt. I understand that. And obviously what he showed during that 73-9 2015-2016 season substantiates and helps corroborate their decision with his numerous kicks to the groin area of Steven Adams, saw it to LeBron. So I understand where the referees are coming from. And if you're Draymond Green, yes, this was a harsh and punitive response on their end, and I didn't think it was warranted. But at the same time, if you're Draymond Green, you have to know that you're going to be officiated differently. You have to know that you always play on the edge. Your past actions won't kind of give you a longer leash in today's playoffs. You kind of just have to know that, and you have to play accordingly. Now, do I like that the refs to some degree kind of interfered and inserted themselves potentially into the outcome of the game? No, I don't like that. And I don't think that that should ever be the case. Refs should never determine the outcome of a game. And I don't think they necessarily did. but I think they bought themselves a huge pass because the Warriors ultimately won. But had the Warriors lost, there'd be a strong argument to be made from Warriors fans that, hey, we lost the game because you ejected one of our best players. So, again, I thought in this particular case, the refs were a little bit quick to blow their whistle. I thought that certainly a flagrant one was deserving. Was it flagrant two? Personally, I would have refrained from making that assessment. But again, Draymond Green kind of has to know that he's walking a fine line. And in the postseason, you get about, I think, 4 technical points before you have to serve an automatic 1-game suspension. The flagrant 2 that he was just assessed gives him 2 points. So he's got to be careful moving forward for the rest of the postseason. And it impacted their ability and their chances to win that second consecutive NBA Finals title. We'll see how it comes to potentially bite them later down the road, but he's just got to be cognizant and wary of how he's acting moving forward for this postseason. Got to keep himself in check.